two amongst the traders. Give me a moment. Alright, so VS Industries, you have already TP1, that's good. That means that you have more or less a guaranteed no returns. You're not going to make a loss here.
Oh wow, one devotion.
Okay, so I wouldn't call this a bearish engulfing simply because the previous day is not a green candle. I know price action traders are like that. They always want to have a very specific sequence of candles in order to call them a specific candle. Alright, now I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm thinking that if you take a look at the 2 days chart, you will see a better view. 2 days chart will show you that this is indeed a gap up then come back down candle. Alright, so Moontan, you are definitely not wrong here. However, I don't see a strong weakness where there is what do you call that? The bearish divergence. I think that if you were to cut loss here, you are slightly on the more conservative side, which means you really do not want to take any losses here. Now, given that, and I'm taking a bit more risk for you here, Moontan, you know, if I were you, and let me just say this is a little bit more risk, I'll monitor one more day. Since we know that the market this week is most likely going to be more bullish than bearish, that is our expectation from current anyways, I'll probably want to take slightly more risk. Now, if you are talking about the market closing to the uptrend to downtrend, meaning to say the current index is looking weak, I'll probably get out. I'll probably TP2. As of now, there's no bearish divergence. There's one sign, a gap up then come back down on a 2 days chart. I probably want to monitor one more day and see whether if it can get better over the next few days. But are you wrong to want to TP2 here? Quite the contrary. I'm actually proud of you. You know how to make use of all these resources to help you decide already. I'm Moontan, so I just want to share that you're not wrong. This is basically a good plan. I think this is something you can do. But the earnings is not high. The market is on a more bullish side this week over the next few days. I hope. And if let's say there is only one weakness here, which is gap up and come back down on the 2 days chart, I'd like to take a look over the next few days. One more day, until really it doesn't move much, it comes back down a little bit. Then I TP2. Moontan, if you can understand my thought process, please say yes in the chat. If you can understand my thought process, please say yes in the chat. I would stand on the more slightly aggressive side, given that the market is pretty okay. And the trend is okay, you see, the trend has been pretty strong over the next few days. Right? So, I wouldn't want to make a decision too rash as of now. Alright, thoughts on Pekka? Can EP? Pekka. Reminds me of Danny. Alright, so Pekka here is... Okay, now I don't like Pekka. A few days before, we were discussing about this in internet. Yeah, because of this this divergence here that obviously is the kind of divergence that's very scary. It's the kind of divergence you saw on Focus Dynamics. It's the kind of divergence you saw on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, on top glove, on Hata, on the glove stocks. As of right now, you could see that the market has already weakened over the last few days, over the next few days. So obviously, this is not going to be very pretty, unless, of course, if you enter at EMA 60, which is around this price right now, 378. And then you are more than willing to cut loss if it goes wrong, if it goes south on you. After it breaks EMA 60 of 3 ringgit and 65 cents, I'd say that you have a game plan here. Alright, so EMA 60. Alright, this is 3.65. This is your game plan. Stop loss if break. If let's say you are okay doing this, this is your game plan. If let's say EMA 60 holds, I'd say you have a game plan there. But honestly speaking, I think I'll probably go for something that is of stronger momentum. Right now, we are betting on the rebound. Right, we are betting on the rebound on EMA 60. You can try. Definitely, this is a good bet. Definitely, this is a plan worth trying. And I'll probably want to have 7% here as well. So let me very quickly calculate 7%. So if you enter around this price, which is about 378, all the way up to about 7%, not too bad. 7% is actually the next, this thing called resistance. So it was a support, now turned resistance. So if you make 7%, which is about 4 ringgit, yeah, you can try it out. Pekka is a worth trying. Is a trade worth trying. Guys, you should saw Equal World today. Right, Equal World went south on us. broke support.
有人，外面
Despite on the uptrend.
Go this way.
Right, so you can see that despite going on the uptrend, right now it broke EMA 20 on us. But you know, we are definitely going to see whether if it's going to hold on to EMA 60 before it goes further up. It's not the best trade already, in my opinion. And at the same time, EcoWorld's momentum here is still stronger than Pekka. So that's what I thought. But it's definitely worth trying. You see, you have a game plan here. This plan works, right? This is a plan that works. But the key is, if you are not ready to cut loss, if it breaks 365, William, I don't think you should take it. But if you are a disciplined trader, you know that this is something you can do. You can go ahead and trade this plan. Alright, William, if you understand, please say yes in the chat. Danny, thank you. Yes, I knew you will respond if I talk about Pekka. At the end of the day, 1 day, 2 day, to me, it doesn't make a difference. I can be looking at a 3-day chart. My plan will still be exactly the same. Yeah, it will still be exactly the same. 1 day chart, it has already broken the EMA 60, so that doesn't look very good. But on the 2-day chart, it does look like there is a very strong EMA 60 plan here. So, you know, it's still worth a try. It's the same thing. 1 hour chart, 2 hour chart, sorry, 1 day chart, 2 day chart, to me, it's almost the same thing. But it's interesting. The 1 day chart looks extremely bearish, in my opinion. 2 day chart looks still bearish because it did broke the support, but you can still trade. But William, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm leaning no for myself. If I were you, I wouldn't take the trade, but this is a plan I prepared for you. Alright, Chong Wei, the benchmark is 1 for all industry. Chong Wei, the benchmark is more than 1 for all industry. Oh, you're talking about QOE. Chong Wei, yes. I don't want to talk about industry specific QOE. Chong Wei, I like to talk about what QOE implies. Quality of earnings is simply taking the operating cash flow and divide by earnings. In other words, if it's anywhere near or less than 1, you're saying that, you know, part of my earnings I do not collect that in cash. Or, you know, my appreciation, or rather my QOE here, my cash flow generation here is highly reliant on whether or not my client pays me on time, or, you know, in a short period of time within this 1 year. So I wouldn't want to care at the end of the day whether if it's multiple sectors, multiple kinds of QOE benchmark. By definition of QOE, by definition of what quality of earning means, I'd say that it is very common, very normal, very commonsensical for me to be looking for more than 1. So I wouldn't say that the benchmark is 1 for all industry. I would say that this is the benchmark for all good companies. Right? I'm really nitpicking your words really. But yeah, that's what I think. Jamie Young, can comment on the trend of Tasco. My EP is 125. A lot of these COVID-19 related, COVID-19 themed plays are actually now on the weaker side. Right? You can obviously see that the industry as a whole has more or less tapered a little. So I would say that transport is definitely one of those. But as I mentioned on Sunday, we want to see whether if it holds, it gets dropped back up on this channel, and it's a very nicely respected channel, which means the downtrend, the uptrend line support is is holding. So that's a good thing. That's a good sign that I have a very good set of support and resistance here for me to use. So I always like that. So in this case, I'm bullish on transportation as of today. It's bouncing off the support, and that means that Tasco is most likely going to be on my good books as well. Now, obviously, this is talking about the company as a whole. Now, if you tell me your entry price is at 125, I would definitely say that it's a bit on the high side.
Okay.
Let me see, 125. Definitely on the high side. No, actually it's not exactly on the high side. If you have entered anywhere near the EMA 20 here, that would actually be quite a good entry. So I wouldn't say that's the high side. So I'd say right now there is a good chance that you might break even. Actually, I think we are holding to Tasco as well. I think I'm holding on Tasco as well. Yeah, I think there's a good chance for us to see either a break even or even further up from here. So if I were you, Jamie, I would hold on to Tasco. There's a bit of a good trend from the transportation sector and the logistics sector as a whole. I think Tasco has been holding very well like a champ. around this period as well. Okay, see, what do I mean? Sometimes, and this is just sometimes, not all the time, I would like to just very simply compare the transportation sector versus the company within transportation sector. So I'll click on compare here. Okay, I'll just use PAS chart. So I'll click on compare here. Alright, I'll key in transport. So I can compare two charts here. Alright, you can see the what happened? Hey. Ah. Oh, I understand what happened already. I just take Tasco chart. I click on compare, add symbol. Key in transport again. You can see that in the same period where transportation has gone down quite significantly, right? You could see that the Tasco has actually been quite resilient. So this shows relative resilience, relative strength, Jamie. Something new for you.
I tell you that one are very resilient.
If I'm worried about a single counter within that particular sector that hasn't been doing very well, for example, Hamada and Hibiscus within the energy sector, they are very resilient. Given that all the counters are all going down diarrhea, but Hamada and Hibiscus is still holding on their forts. Within the transport sector as well, you could see that Tasco, at the same period when transport is going down, Tasco is actually on the sideways, holding its fort. I like to see companies doing that. Right, within their own sectors, they are like the leader, they are like the champion, they are the leading company that is holding on to the fort. Everyone is going down, I'm still going sideways. So I like it. I will hold on to Tasco, no problem there. Jamie, you understand what I'm trying to say? Please say yes in the chat. Something new for you guys. You can compare something along the transport, so the sector itself, to see whether if there's kind of relative strength going on, relative resilience. Relative meaning to say not comparing to only other companies, but comparing to your own peers within the same sector. Alright? Okay, relative strength. Yes. When is a good time to buy Mr. DIY? I ask that question myself every day, Tracy. I like Mr. DIY. I understand its business. I understand their value proposition as well, but I don't quite understand the company's valuations. Right, so the valuation is obviously on a relative higher side, on 52 times, and I cannot use PE ratio here as a way for me to understand that they are companies, because I don't have 1,000 days PE ratio, you see. So I obviously can't do this thing called relative valuation here. I cannot compare it even with 100 days. I don't even think that is accurate. So if you compare it to 100 days, that is like what, half a year. Obviously, you are looking at a relative small, cheaper price around this level here. So I wouldn't say that this is too accurate, because there's only just 100 days benchmark. What I'd like to do in fact is potentially to go into a deeper dive on Mr. DIY. And look at, let's say, absolute valuation. You see, guys, sorry, let me go deeper. Let me talk about something more fundamental. Tracy is asking, when is a good time to buy Mr. DIY? You see, in my brain, straight away, I talk about valuation. You see, I like Mr. DIY. I think it's a company that can potentially be strong growth or even a stalwart company in the future. Alright? So I know that there is basic fundamentals there, since I understand the business. So when it comes to a basic fundamentally strong company, straight away my timing, I don't care about the chart. I don't care about the TA. What do I care for? I care about the valuation. Guys, did you see that? So these are all interesting stuff that I'd like you guys to pay attention to also sometimes. When she's asking about a good time to buy, straight away I talk about valuation for a company that I assumed is going to be good, straight away. So this is why I talk about valuation straight away. This is just something I want to point out. So instead of looking at relative valuation, which compares PE ratio across multiple number of days, I like to actually use what we call absolute valuation. Now, absolute valuation, for example, discounted cash flow valuation, is not easy to perform. It's not something that we can straight away just teach. It's a lot of mathematical stuff, model, and on top of the mathematical model, there are a lot of assumptions made. That could be very minimal. As in the assumptions made, for example, I assume a 4% discount rate for Mr. DIY, where it is supposed to be 4.6%, for example. And then that 0.6% makes a huge difference, which means the implications coming from all this absolute valuation will have a huge execution different or would have a very different execution when it comes to it. So when it comes to Mr. DIY, there are a lot of things I can do to get a better idea of what I should do. But as of now, let's determine whether if this company is a strong company first. Right, so the revenue is obviously on the higher side. It is inducted into the top 30 company in market capitalization by by KLCI, by Bursa. You can see it has grown quite a bit in the last few years despite COVID-19. Maybe online, I don't know. You can see the margin has been relatively stable over the last few years, and because this is a product company, I really want to take a look at the gross margin. Right? So this is something I just want to do very quickly, just to see whether if there's at least 40% here. Right? Gross profit is around here. So I'm looking for at least 40%. If no 40%, doesn't mean that I don't like it as well. I'm probably looking for something better. It doesn't mean I don't like it. It probably means that I'm probably looking for them to improve over the next few years. Let me see.
I need to account for the drop. It's fucking 500 meters away.
Right, about 30%. In fact, you see, before the list is actually close to 40%. So I'm hoping that they can go back up to their previous years of 40% plus. Having a 40% gross profit is not a need. It is a want, meaning to say I like to have it. I prefer to see it. But given that this is COVID-19 years, we can definitely understand why it has come back down from 40% before. Right? So previously it was around 38, 37%, 36%, but now I'd like to see that gross margin going back up to 40% at least. Alright, other than that, I'm okay with this stock. It's a very debt-heavy company, 1.2 billion as of now. At the same time, the cash flow seems to be strong. It should be a strong cash flow given that this is a company that's doing cash business, but unfortunately I do not see very strong cash flow coming in. So Mr. DIY, as much as I understand their business, their numbers don't go up to my expectations, unfortunately. Right, net cash is actually going down during the COVID-19 years. That is completely understandable. Capex should be increasing. They have plans to improve and increase their outlets. So it is increasing every year. So that's good. And then I would say that their free cash flow is pretty strong as well. Every year they have extra cash. So overall, some things are not up to my expectations. Some other things are up to my expectation. I'd still consider this as a fundamentally okay, pretty strong company. But when it comes to the valuation, now these are a few things I can do first. I can use Share Investor. I can go to Screener. I can take a look at the intrinsic value analysis. This is very simplistic. But I can, consider that this company can continue to grow for another 10%. And then I calculate it, and then it will tell me that the value of this company is at 34 cents, guys. You see? Absolute valuation. It's crazy. You want to buy at a really cheap price, sometimes it would have really, really low in price. So currently the valuation is always is somewhat on the higher side. What I'll do is actually to wait until the price goes finish down. Right now the chart is going down as well. Despite it coming back up maybe the last 2 days, I can expect the share price to come back a little bit back down, a little bit at cheaper price. That's where I'll consider go. I spend so much time talking about valuation. I spend so much time talking about DIY. Honestly, at the end of the day, Tracy, when to buy Mr. DIY, I don't have enough information to do that. I don't have the time to go through the valuation. Right now, I probably have to spend a bit of time to go through all other methods of valuation. For example, the sum of parts. For example, the WACC, weighted average cost of capital. Probably have to go through their discounted cash flow model as well. Discounted cash flow evaluation. So all these, then I will have a good idea. As of now, you can use other people's thought process here. Mr. DIY is definitely a company that a lot of people are covering. I'm Mr. DIY. You can see that there is actually upside from these people's point of view, this analyst's point of view. You can read into their thought process. And if you don't mind holding on to Mr. DIY for a while, my game plan will be very simple. I want to see this chart at least going uptrend, meaning to say it's not going downtrend like right now. After their bearish divergence, it has been continuously going downtrend. I suspect it can go further downtrend. So with that in mind, you are looking for probably the future, short-term future, for us to enter. And given that the company maintains at a high, valuation amongst all these analysts, I would say, no, you can use all these things, all these ways to get your entry as well. I know it's a bit here and there when it comes to Mr. DIY. I know that I'm not giving a very clear direction here, but really, as of now, that's all I can say. I don't have all the data, I don't have all the valuation methods, I don't have all the valuation figures here. You can follow this, you can buy according to this, and my comment on Mr. DIY right now is that it's on downtrend, you can probably win. Alright Tracy, it's a pretty long-winded answer that gives you basically nothing, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Sim, how about heavier company health? Can we enter and keep Q? It gets up again around 80 cents at a year high again. Thank you very much. Heavier. Furniture. Fiber. I don't much understand this sector. I cannot contribute much on the qualitative analysis side. But definitely the chart looks really ugly. It's on a very strong downtrend now. Trying to come out perhaps with a bullish divergence, even that they failed. So I would say that to re-enter, you're either talking about average down or to go back in again to this chart. Purely from the technical point of view, I'd say that there is more downside. Sim. There's no bullish divergence here. Let me take a look at the 2 days chart. I can forget about 1 hourly chart here. I'll just take a look at the long term. Yeah, same thing. So what I think when it comes to behavior here is, if you really want to go back in because you believe in the company's future, I would say that right now the chart is still pretty much weak, can still go further down, not the right time from a technical analysis point of view. How about the company's fundamentals? Let's take a look. Of course, the PB7 is not strong, but 2.8, 2.9.
crash game.
I don't expect myself to like the company that much if the PB7 is really that low. The revenue is red all the time. Margin is down all the time. Earnings is down all the time now. I'm not going to waste time here. So Heavia is obviously not a company I look forward to holding on for long term. As a growth company, it's only going to be a growing or a speculative position. So if you are talking about that, you are talking about pure TA timing, pure TA pricing, technical analysis only, not like just now Mr. DIY, you must use fundamental valuation. In this case, I'll say not the right time, simple as that, Sim. Alright, not the right time. Sim, you can hear me, please say yes in the chat. I'm going very slowly. Up until now, 10:12, I'm only answering at 9 PM questions. William, my EP for DNO is 525 based on EMA 20, but it came down today. Is it okay to hold? Speaking of DNO, just now I mentioned that I'm only going to be worried if it breaks EMA 60. So yes, I'd say it is still okay. But you have to tahan a bit now. Since that it has gone down today, there might be a chance for you to see the price going further down at EMA 20 for a while. And from there onwards, you might see a bit of paper loss for quite some time, like this one here. As long as it holds EMA 60, we still have a chance and see whether we can bounce back up from there and get. So DNO is still okay. That's what I mentioned about DNO just now already. Right, Chan, NTEC is having bonus issue 3 cents per 1-4. Should I take? Wow. NTEC or EMG Tech? EMG Tech, right? I think you're talking about NTEC. Wow. Speaking of NTEC, my family, my parents' house near their office there. Miss my face, man. 1+ here. Never go home and visit them. My goodness. What was I talking about? NTEC. Okay, so bonus issue. Alright, so rights issue is not bonus, it's rights issue. Chan? You know, right? It says rights issue here. You don't want to confuse these two ways. Bonus issue you have to pay, so you don't have to pay money. Rights issue you have to pay money. Right? Yeah, it's rights issue. So their company bosses just bought a lot of shares, so that's probably a good thing. Rights issue of 1 to 4. Right, so rights issue at the end of the day, a lot of people are always asking, should I take that right? Should I pay more money? Now, obviously, you are asking the same question as, is this a good company? Is this a good management? Should I give them more money? Now, I'm going to share with you a very simple analogy. Now, if you are going to be investor of a private company, in fact, you want to invest in your friend's company. Now, you have invested in your friend's company for 1 or 2 or 3 years. Suddenly, your friend comes back to you and says, "Hey, friend, I want to expand my company. I'd like you to add more money to my company as a shareholder right now. I'm giving you the opportunity to buy more shares on my company, private listed." Now, what are the ways or what are the reasons you would do that? What are the reasons you would reinvest or buy more of your friend's company's shares? Anyone can tell me in the chat. Why would you reinvest in your company's friends? In your friend's company? Why would you do that? Because it is a good company. Because your friend is a good businessman. Because you trust him. Because you believe that the cash that you re-inject into his company is in good hands. That's why you want to buy a rights issue. In fact, you realize some of these companies that we consider good company are all the strong companies who have so much cash. Because their cash flow is always strong based on PBCIB. Anytime these companies, the good ones, they ask for right issue, I'll confirm pay. But how many times these good companies ask for right issue? So you know that when it comes to right issue, there's a bit of a balance here. Then only the good companies, so only the not so good companies will call for a right issue. Of course, I don't want to have a general statement here, a blanket statement that says that no good companies will do right issue. That's just not true. So the question boils down to, at the end of the day, is Engtex a good company? So I would rephrase your question. Should you buy more of their shares? My rephrasing of the question is Engtex a good company? Understand, Chan? Please say yes in the chat. And let me take a look at Engtex. PBCIB is 3, so it's not very high already. But this is on the quantitative side. Let's take a look at perhaps a little bit more on the qualitative side later. Right? A little bit more. Alright, so revenue is definitely on the... I want to say this is COVID-19, but in 2019 it has dropped a little bit. So it's a bit red, so it's not so strong. But the good news is the margin has finally gone back up. Right? So this is a turnaround play for sure. I'm definitely seeing green earnings per share here. So I'd say that there is a bit of turnaround play here. So that's a good thing. If I were to look into the qualitative side of Engtex, I'll probably want to find out what is it that they did differently and what is their plan over the next few years in the last few quarters. So I like to take a look at what they have done correctly over the last few quarters. I'll probably want to take a look at their quarterly reports, not just from 2020 onwards, but also in 2019. What did they say they would do? What did they say was happening to their company? And then I want to see what they did correctly in 2020. That is on the qualitative side, the deep diving there. Obviously, I won't be able to do so much of these kinds of work as of now because that's going to be too lengthy. You're going to get confused. A lot of you will be very angry at me because I cannot answer your questions fast enough. So I'm just going to use the numbers first, and if I have time later, I'll look into Engtex. Right, so far, this is definitely a turnaround company based on their margin, based on their earnings per share, but revenue-wise, not really. Right, it has been going down for quite a bit. Alright, the cash is actually not too strong. You can see that it is not very consistent. Alright, there are years when they only got in 3 million in cash. For a listed company, that could be quite scary. On the capex, it's actually quite consistent, around 20 million every year. I think this is just to have maintain their wear and tear. And then you can see that the free cash flow over the last few years is not very strong as well. Well, it is no wonder why they want to do rights issue, right? Because their cash is, again, not so strong. But on the years where their companies is making the cash, the QOE sometimes can be good, sometimes can be bad. I would say at best, Engtex, I'm pretty sure they're in property. I would say at best, this is a company that, it would be considered a risk to take up their rights issue. Now, I don't know, Chan, what is your entry price? But usually, and in the last few weeks, in the last few months, when there are people, students, like yourself, come to me and ask about their company's rights issue, I really did entertain looking into their companies. And I often find those companies that they are looking at.
我很早
are
拿
not
的，
good.
不是这里拿的。
Well, I'll just give you 2 examples of companies doing rights issues, and it didn't turn out really well. So at first, when we talk about Sanichi, when I looked into Sanichi, so the story was that she was asking me whether you want to do a rights issue here, you want to take up the rights issue. I look into the company, I obviously think that this is not a very great company. So at most, right now what you will see here is potentially a push towards people to convert their rights to buy their rights, so share price can go up for a while. So the price did go up. She kind of did not take the rights issue as well, but she wasn't, quite happy to see this has gone up in a time where their rights is still tradable. But at the time when they became mother share, so this happened, and the rest was history. So Sanichi here, after the rights issue, became quite bad, like this. So the next company that did very similar to this, also another person asked me about. In fact, 2 persons asked me about rights issue here. I gave both of them the same comment I had about companies on rights issue, meaning to say you are looking at whether or not it's a good company. Again, same thing. It went up for a few days, and then after that, subsequently, it just crashed. So I have a feeling that rights issue, when it comes to not so good companies, would always go through a similar process like this, where they'll be working with probably an operator or syndicate, and this is just conjecture, this is just rumor. This is just rumor, I'm not saying they're doing that. I'm just saying that there are people who work with people like...
你是不是 download 啊？没有可能啊，你的 ping 都是低，你的讲。
不是 download， 我在看这一个 video。
Gunshots west about 300。
哦，有人射我！在 north， 在 north。
That side. Hit for 60. Rampart shield. I broke the rampart shield. There's a rampart wall there. There's a rampart and someone else.
一个差不多爆了。
在这边，你右边还有人啊！你右边还有人啊！
其實啲夾攻左右都有人。我們要走。
back up a bit.
Yup, we back off.
Ui,
定位circle 的嘛。
媽的，我的那個 zoom update 喎。I got super。
Recharging shields.
咁打出嚟。
Fighting ready, they're fighting ready. I'm gonna take this position here.
Coming.
Go.
Attention. There is a
媽的 Google。
new kill leader.
Fuck man.
Wings up.
They finished fighting. No wait, still here, in front of me.
Enemy over there.
Crack. There's someone on us.
Box 3, dumping the pods.
I'm not sure.
左邊那邊。
Let's check this quadrant.
Spotted. Give me a sec. Recharging shields.
哇，你们有多少个 cell 啊？我的 cell 剩3粒2粒吧。
这个我给你吃的。
不是 battery 啊，不是 battery cell 吧？
那我有12个。
我們這裡很 open。他們在山頂那邊
Let's
射
check this
過來的
quadrant.
剛才。
他媽的，到處都在那邊射我們。
我去 scan 這個東西啊！
左前這個。
Wings up.
有
那邊有人打着。
Got a bogey on my marker.
你講我推給你 keep 飛過去上咗啊！真係。
中到下就冇嘢好講啊！
Ring. Check
他
your
們這邊
map.
打着。
Bogey on my
解
marker.
釋我屌！
Level 3.
2 minute wing。
我們後面還有人啊！在這邊 behind the icicle，
Got a replicator coming in.
他們打
在屋子裡面打着。
But we got bandits out there.
我在这边没有用了，我要打进。
we need to go backwards though, towards geyser again.
Position here.
有。
fly 哦，我的 fly 下面打你啊！我那邊哦。
Got another bandit.
攻60，爆下60，傻佬，你不要以為我塞不會用喎，這個運動塞咩？啊，有人射我 ！OK，我閃得遠，啊媽的！
我們飛啊，要嗎？
可以啊，等下我上屋頂，沒有，我們在下面飛，我這邊 我这边，因为我们给人家包围了。你在哪里？
在楼下。
开。
Alert 5, Download Station We're. Go for burn.
回去看不到，我们可以去这边，我们可以去那边。啊，人家在这一边和这一边刚才。
This means you see raccoons.
我直接下这边啊。
我们这里来过了。
看到吗？人家这边走。They're coming over here. Yeah, they're here.
New kill leader, but they haven't won yet. Wings out.
They're coming. They're charging at us. They're charging at us. You ready to revive behind us? What the fuck?
Behind is where?
Got a live one out there.
Where to go?
Let's go this way.
I saw someone just revive the ship. Ah, they are pushing me already. I think.
Yeah, you back off.
Wings up.
哦，我看这有没有人？
看着，我在这里后面屋子，你在哪里？上面。
我看这。
Hostile over there.
个人，
啊，他们飞过去那边。
Bogey there.
他们过来那边了，他们要快点升到我们这边。
You guys can flank him.
走
They're hiding here.
OK，
Taking fire.
很远一下嘞。我跟着做 speed。
我们去这个石头，然后 fall back 到。
Wings out.
Careful. The horizon move over here.
Enemy spotted.
上去了一个，
There's a clueless bogey.
找
out
cover。
there.
Go speed 你 open。
上去了，哇，没想到。
Back off.
Back off, back off。
Back off.
I'll be the champion. We're inside. Punching a tunnel.
中一个25。
Portal placed.
Recharging shields.
Heal up, heal up, heal up.
插十月先。
Attention. Double time. Care package.
来了。
Yeah.
Charging up my shields.
Give my shields a recharge. Patching myself up. Thanks for fire.
There's another team behind them. There's another team behind them. You just need to heal up. Holy shit!
I'm down.
哇，他只要射到我这边。
有个到底
Wings up.
该你了。
后面来的。
难怪。我在讲后面有人在冲。
我摸伤。我摸伤。
Mayday, mayday. Bogey here.
我没用塞布啊。
他爆我。他打了去了。
我给人家包围了，又是。
那个 rest 下来的。
一个打5个。Speed 不要动，静静不要出声。
啊，给到我。
OK， 你要走路了，走。我在 Q 在你右边。Q 啊 ！Q。哎，哦，有肖刃。你一开那个肖刃的就看到你，直接给你死。我得了。
Oh no， get 爆了！然后我们这次 engage
也不是。
没有。我捡 sniper 吧，我没有 sniper， 我们赢定了。信不信？现在我做完 sniper 了 ，fuck this，no more that shits。
就是你用
没有人用借我赢。
哦。
冇变咯。
MARKSMAN 30 skin。
啊，我用回我的 update。
用啊。我是觉得我们没有一个 seal 或 blood 号拿，真的有时候在 cripple 着自己，就是 issue。一下子就给人家包围，跟他就 OK。那个我们设置那个 rampart team 是，他后面有另外一个 team 刚刚 land solo。其实我一讲后面那个人家有 revive 啊，其实我们应该 push 回进去，改是 camp 在里面。
对，是从别的出来的。
什么？
Everything's gonna be great. At least
他们
that's
不
what I
是，
keep
他
telling
们
myself.
technically 是呀，改是的。
Break a leg. Mine are made of steel.
这个毛我
Valkyrie maximum skill 也是去不到100个。
当然了，可以飞这么远就不用玩了，是不是？
不是他的 skill 射不到。
哦，那这 C2的 skill 也是75米不了吗？很远咩？
那个近很多。
垃圾啊！跟你讲
Introducing your champion.
我在山顶那个，我想射他们的，哇！我一直 scroll up nothing， 没有到上去。maximum 就是在中间了，乱射了。
然后又是坐在这种地方。
You can drop here, then push over here.
Be something good there.
没有 team， 没有 team。1, 2, 3 teams in Lava City. I'm going here. 我拼流的墨。枪一把都没有。
这个有的 craft 吗？哎有。
他妈的，现在就一直给我sniper，你妈
First blood.
！Fuck off！
The first legend falls.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
We are already.
Need it.
这个中间没有那个 craft material， 这样奇怪了。
有
Random
Coming this
哦
way.
，random 一个罢了有。
哪里有3个哎，总共。
对。
你看你的 map。
哦，这个是来的，哎，这个是 craft。还有一个在墨西那边。
啊，你看那个 map， 你看那个 map。
有啊。
你看 map 就是看完了。
去 craft。
Take one, I throw one med kit.
Here. Watch for the new kill leader.
我有一个。
我有2个啊，我就找一个人就。
Just a sec. Crafting it up. I'll take that.
Hold on. Crafting.
等我弄哦。
卡勒
你
耶。
躲了瓮这边，然后
OK，
再
OK，OK。
喂，中国那个拼卡勒的。喂，俺唔信他。没有看到那个 Fox
Not for long,
卡
pal.
勒的。
没有。
这边哦，
Think is over here.
Purplish
会不会红的？
purplish pink, yeah. Purplish pink, yeah. 对。
Pico, just a moment. Crafting.
走，拉吧。
Sniper. Mira, sentinel over here.
Rampage 也是 marksman
不是
干。
啊，不是啊。
light machine gun。Rampage 是 machine gun 来的。
Extended heavy mag. Got a helmet here, amigos.
Level 2.
啊，对耶，我哇，energy 很多诶。
I want heavy. I want extended heavy. 除非你们那要拿。
我有一个罢了。
Because I need it for my prowler. If not, I'm useless in rage. You guys fight everything.
Anybody need energy ammo? Hells yeah. Half the squads are toast.
I need scoop。
That's some champion, huh?
那 extended heavy 拿啦？
蓝色的啊。
不明。我 deep 走了嘛。
我也是用这跑路，我靠，
我打了。
用。
Optics here. Close range.
Yeah, I could use that.
1 2。我来了。
That's got a kick.
Sending out my decoy.
There's someone here. There's someone in the tunnel. There's someone in the tunnel.
Lucky us. We're already inside this next ring. Bad guy over there.
Where is the tunnel? Look.
打路。
Bridge
He's
tunnel
running away. He's running away from us. He's running away from us. The tunnel going to Lava Cypress. Between here
Bamboozles
and
for the
the
foozles.
so whatever.
Yeah, I said it.
I saw him.
Hey, how about this way?
Okay.
Not him 24.
Beyond this
I need to back off.
Reloading.
Arc Star. Care package income.
Yeah, on the.
I'm healing.
Shield to recharge.
Frag out. I'm taking fire.
I cracked the one on the roof. 50, 70.
I'm recharging my shield.
Last it.
Reloading.
Sending a decoy. How do I know that I'm
Nova ran away.
green within a green
Yep.
stuff? It's dupes o'clock. Just gotta patch my.
On speed.
Jump. 很低吧他？
Yep, rushing in.
Tossing fire.
上屋
他开
顶了
屋顶了，
到了，
应该转命
And。they're hitting me. Enemy down.
Another one.
Sending out my decoy.
That one's out for
Charging shields.
买不完吗？
掉了，
shields here. Level 2.
我拿。
哎呦，
这个鱼竿买不完吗？有没有多个 heavy？
还啲氣，我剩下65喎。
OK， 我 I swap to Voucher。啊，不要，I swap 到R99。
Give him my shield to recharge.
我唔有係。
可以有人。I think outside here. It's the same team. It's the same team. From me. Another team. Another team. Run.
我坐飛
A
機，
decoy escape deployed.
這邊，我邊。
Let's go here.
坐 balloon，坐 balloon。
I'm jumping down.
Enemy spotted. They look small. You got bamboozled.
我邊做飛機啊！
Taking fire.
Shots fired, and they're hitting me.
給，我跑得到，我跑，我在這邊。
Reloading.
我拿着去快進
Shields
對
back.
We need to party them. Oh! What?
You're
Another guy here.
recharging shields.
I'm healing. Don't die.
I'm coming.
200。
I'm down. We've got company.
再跑咗我。
One sec, healing up.
down there。
Our teammate is gone.
還有跑
Give him my shield to recharge.
Just go.
I am taking fire.
鏘。
Reloading. I'm down.
好吧。Stormy 怎么飞这么远呢？
這咁大都
应该飞我们这边吗？
完了。
你飛這麼遠，你飛很遠很遠。
有人啊，我們包機有人啊。
啊，
你從上面看下去，從這邊，你要去前面的，慢慢走。
你一定要 spam 你的 decoy，之前人就容易一點。你看跑掉了，你可以去 cover 你。
有人在附近
cover 我們，丟你的 decoy。
Bamboozled. My decoy escape.
走，不要 aim 了，你收槍帶。你要記得，你錯了，你站在那邊，就人家知道你是哪一個。哦。You need to run， 你收槍跑去撿就對了。你是騙不到人，永遠騙到人的，你知道吧？啊，
就是那1 second 你一定要跑掉啊！
对 ，and then 你不跑的话，你原地站的话啊 ，because your decoys will not move if you don't move。
哦 ，OK。
Your decoys follow your movement， 尤其是你 ultimate 的时候，如果你不动的话，他们就是原地站，他们就是耍一枪，就是全部中得完了。
明白。
啊，你一定要跑，你的 decoy 啊，尤其是啊，我们打死一个人的时候啊，或者是你一cool down完了，你直接丢一个 decoy 出来就对了。要不然就是好像我们刚才进那个单位要去拉瓦塞分支，你怕后面有人来啊，你丢一个 decoy 在后面，然后你才去。要不然就是你丢一个 decoy 走前去。 你一直 spam， 你好了就丢，要不然就是最好。我知道跟你讲是讲 ，when you're healing, you can also decoy. When you're using skill, you can also not using skill. When you're healing or doing like healing or whatever 啊，你可以丢东西出来的。就好像如果你躲在石头后面 heal 啊，你要骗人家是你丢一个 decoy 去另外一个地方，人家就浪费时间射那个 decoy 先，就够了。有就是
他好像 grenade 这样子丢了是吗？
按 Q 就对了，你随便你看什么方向按 Q 就可以了。 不是好像 grenade 的，你不用秒，你都 need to aim。因为你 grenade 你要看那个线的嘛，对不对？啊，这个不用的，你就 look at one spot and then you press Q， then the decoy will try to move to that spot。
Sometimes it's like just at your body itself 它不动的，你一开它就在你前面。
因为你看太低了 ，you need to look further away， look
okay.
a bit。啊 ，plus if you stand behind a rock and you press, it's just gonna stop at the rock。 That's why I always say, if you have a decoy, just decoy everywhere. 好像你看我用的，我每次乱丢 decoy 啊 ，I just keep doing it. Then you eventually you know how to use it. 因为它cooldown很
Let
短
us
嘛。
sit down here. Break legs, my friends. Metaphorically. Bend your knees when you land.
1, 2 teams only. 那个是你有的。 I think it's 2 or 3 kills.
Sí, por favor.
他也是丢了 cos 也是
分，
We could check out
你一定要分手命，你不找分，我要转另外一个地方。你要找分，不要吃分，每次很吃
Hey
分哦。
amigos, this dude's not with us.
我晕。
Did someone come into this building? How come no weapons on the second floor?
I can fight it now.
I'm gonna use a havoc just because I like havoc more. 不想用火箭。
Attention. First blood.
Extended heavy mag here.
Round 1.
I'll take that.
Beginning ring countdown.
他们应该在打这个。
Already in the next ring. Get to bamboozling.
Must go faster.
你们这个 building 这个 building 有人开车啊？
你要不就去修？
这个
他妈的吓死我！所以，
我还是什么？
你呀，你吓到我，我以为有人来打我，
我进了很久哦，
对，吓死我了。
过了你的波地，你再跟过去讲话，你才讲吓到你。
就这样话。
RE45 here. Evo shields
I'm
here.
running out of
Level
ideas.
2.
去
我自己也是有脚步的，所以手黑。
Evo shield.
哦有，
Level 2.
所以你们每次讲我骗你们吗？就这样子吗？
自己骗自己啊！现在
这样子咯。
Send in a decoy. Wait, how do I know I'm not?
Bam to the Voucher。
Eva shotgun here.
哎，有人开枪
在 countdown 来的。
，SW
这边没有人开刀，没有开枪，就是一个 team 哦这边。刚才我们看到一个 team 哦，不是2个。
Sending out another me. Damn, he's good looking.
这 H 可以开回又关回啊？
啊对，谁在射谁？
不是后面打架，
Enemy spotted. It looks small.
There's a blue armor also. Do we go forward or do we go backwards?
我 forward 啊，他们在 forward，
在 countdown 啊，走。
我们那个是高招。
走去 countdown. I'm kitted already. I can go.
Kill Bazoomba. Bamboo.
啊，我有
I need an
heavy
extended
的
heavy mag.
我来拼有一个。
我拿了。
OK。
我 check 在后面家，你们 keep going。
Send in a decoy. Wait, how do I know I'm not the decoy?
哦，哇，很多。
Must go faster.
No one in front of us. You can keep going up to height first. No one in front of us. Keep going.
有人射我们，
All the way there. They're all the way there.
I got shot.
Below us. There. I see them.
They are far.
I'm checking the top. Top, no one. All below us.
Spotted one.
There's someone behind me.
Reloading.
No, wait. Below us.
他 rest，
Right below us.
他在
Heads up, got one here. Opening
我跳下去了。
Firing.
Fire in the hole.
在把地，
Down one.
Go out and bamboozle them. Tubes the clock. Throwing grenade.
one enemy detected。
We're already inside the ring.
这里有一个，
不假了。
跟着，哎，咦哦，
中了，2个，看到吗？
在我那边，
完场。
咦
你不要射墙壁哦，大佬。
那个东西，他的那个东西，
弄到好像在射墙，我懂，分手还有时候。
Barrel stabilizer here.
哎，
Level 1. Extended heavy mag here.
我看到你射墙壁有一个。
Charging shields. Come on, come on.
Ah, look. Supplies
哦，
inbound,
我
my
要
friend.
heavy 咩？
Dibs.
有没有 battery 啊？
没有，
没有。No one here. Let's go.
还有一个，
有没有 craft 我想 craft 一个头我才去，但是我觉得有点危险。我觉得那
还有一个尸体
个喇叭的
在上面后面，
修下。
有地下啊？How many do you have?
I have 6.
Some champion, huh?
Yeah, 6 ah.
There is a new kill leader.
I got 4 here.
No kill leader? Not for long, pal.
Rest.
Got an enemy out there.
Bam to the bam. I'm running out of ideas.
啊，老啊，Fisher 那边。哦，I think I got it.
Did you pick up mine at all?
还没有，
哎呦我去哦，
Okay, 没有的话我就捡。
拿对啊，拿到。
Guess what, kids? I got a vault key.
Where are we going now?
We go towards the
Oh,
red zone.
yeah.
We are all the way the other side. We can go to vote here as well if you want.
有我咩？Stay 那边。
I think so.
哦，yeah，很像是。
有问 Mirage 哦？捡 vote
Looks
key
like
的
only
人
half。the squads are left.
这里
Let's check out over there.
哦，去那边哦，去人出来哦，去人出来哦。
Yo, crafting over here.
I think this place needs a little more me.
你们有 battery 吗？
一滴
没有。对啊，那大把。No mind lah. Let's hit. I think we battery. Go. 我只是 close。
Bam to the woozle. Sending out a
我
decoy.
有巨蟹温手，可是我完全没手。
你要不要乘1的 scope？ 我就有乘1的 scope 哦。
好，我要。
Optics here. Close range.
No one here. I want to craft 2 batteries before.
OK， 后面还有一个大水壶。
Materials over here.
Let's go. Let's go.
他本身他错了，
craft 10个。
所以要多一个 make it。
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown.
完了。
哇，我们要就快录，因为我们这个地方是人家来的地方。这个是这边。
No bamboozle.
Delivered.
Replicator here, falling down.
Ready, set, go!
8个树。
No bamboozle.
Go in. Faster. I will check.
你知道了，你金色。
Open the
哦，
vault.
金色在右边。
Come over.
哦，谁的衣服
Field
拿
is？here.
拿了你剩你3个。
Level 4. Don't
Oh, wait.
worry, it won't slow you down.
OK，helmet 我拿 helmet 我拿 backpack 你拿。
不要，你不要这样快倒。
被我打。OK，
啊 backpack 你拿，因为你救人不用会出现的。
明白。还有我有秀哦，黄色秀谁拿？
不用紧啊，你拿，
OK，OK
我们紫色了，只有你蓝色哦。你拿。
诶，我不是紫色呗
你拿。
？Gosby 是蓝色。
诶，是咩？
是
哦
，Gosby 蓝色来的。
我打了。
看错了，真是。
他是打雷，所以一直看。
我去 scan 一下那个底根，我射不到远了，我是 have bomb。
Mirage 是什么嘞 ？Mirage 是 Defender Offensive Assault 啊。
哦 offensive。
哇，在这里有圈，
就是这边。
我们
有人，
时常在这里
有人，这边，在这个圈上面，在这个 building 上面。
看到。
还够应该。
What the fuck？ 这块就是。
你们要现在人上来那边了。
好人哦，我们上去。
上去就为了跑哦。
还在呀，跑个屁呀！
看不到他，怎么是？
呀，别看着我，我给新的。
来看极限，你们车前面，我看后面。
不要一个射，不要浪费子弹哦。
我这边有1000。假的，fuck 蝙蝠侠，他们也是我们那种。
Bam to the woozle. Yeah, sending out a decoy.
看其他地方。
我看着，这是位哦。
不要打，不要打。你再一冲那边，我偷你的。
这个 grenade，看我们 grenade 丢到那边。哇，射另外一边哦，他射 fragment 进来的人。
哦。
他射的 fragment 进来的人。
他在 gatekeeping 啊。
是啊。有人看到吗？看到啊，来自我们这边，来自我们这边。
哦，那个 GB 啊。
这边又有一个人，这边又有一个人。
Let's go.
啊，
Lucky
全
us.
世界都
We're
是。
already inside.
一个 team 在这边。
Or something like that.
这么只是
See someone out there. Nailed him.
哦呦，子弹飞过我头。
我很敢死哦，这个跑去
Check it out. Care package
Someone's
coming
out
in.
there. They're far.
他们直接。
哦，有 care package 我们前面这边。还在这边打，还在打出。
飞上去打他们。
这个就是真的。
我的应该给你们人配去射他们，可以加修啊。
我们 fight 哦，我们是时候哦，各位。
你们应该换秀走，真的是。
我有需要。
没有，我给你
啊，
我给你
好，
你拿金色，你拿掉我拿金色。少还
是啊，我可以这样子 upgrade 吗？
哇，几多啊，地啊！哇，我在看着这样，怎么这样子？全部听在我们前面。I will cover this. You guys shoot if you.
然后去 flank 到了。
你们要去大概啊，还是要在这边慢等？上打点。
We are inside the next room. This is our stage.
哦 ，flank 有一个。
Replicator
那
here.
个人
Falling
翻
down.
，Can I go pick up 垃圾？我去执垃圾，你们在这边打。
Sending out my
Wow, they
decoy.
很可能那边就是打人的地方啊。
It's go time.
走路有 power 的地方。哦。
他们都知道我们来过，不要忘记 countdown 有人啊！
快点！
And there goes the woozle. Ha. Oh boy.
去 protect 我的垃圾。
他要吗？
New kill leader appointed.
走啊，打5个出哦！
好，
走啊，打！
我在圆圈外面了。
在这边呢。
Watch 到位有人，有人现在冲去啊！到位有人。
到了，
这阿哥。
Reloading. Get out there and bamboozle. 1 minute until close. Range nearby.
哎，双臂狗，你们在打
啊
我去。
啊，退后，我们退后，他要退后就退后。
去做那个 Watch Tower。
OK，
对，你小心哎，很多人呢。
有人上来了，他们在我们打过了，刚才那边。
Getting shot
是
at.
吧？
Run boy！
我们后面有人啊，在这边有人啊。
我说，不是我啊。
Bamboozles for the foozles. It
我
works.
去
It
射
rhymes.
他2条就跑了。
跑掉了哦，
没有，他们还在。
不在上面了，不在上面了。
有，他们在那个。
Super, bro. There's someone here.
Charging up my shields.
我在做我 high ground already。
Yes, we told you. 原来那边应该在前。
走，回去 high ground 我有 jump pad 可以贴上去的。
标线，等。
我们架在中间那里。
啊 crafting。中，一个金色，一个红色。
上空啊！
My heart goes out to you. Bam to the bam.
还看关的。
丢钱。
丢。
Charging up my shields.
Shot at. Reloading.
Just you and me. Taking
跑
fire.
了。
右边有一个，
打背后，
一个在我这里。
他们要死了。
Making contact here.
Rápido.
You got bamboozled. Let's go here. Target's right in front of you.
Because when I push forward, I thought you guys were going to push forward together. Because they are crafting.
我放错掉的。
啊，
Let's go this way.
没有，我 I thought I push forward, you guys are going to push forward together. 我知道你跟着我，2P 没有啊，2P不在那边啊。 no one covering my angle because when I run there, the guy is looking at me straight in front. They are straight out in the open, can instantly beam them to death already. 你们两个的话 because I already whacked the guy 114 damage, you know. We just need 1 or 2 more guys shooting the same direction or shooting the same guy 死了刚才那个。我们去左边的时候 ，Gospel 又去改造右边的。我在想左边那个可以打死他哦，过去跑去右边我就 OK 咯。然后 after that 我们讲退哦，就退，然后 Gospel 还在很远，我讲后面已经有人了，我们还讲了几次，哇，我们的 communication 真的是不懂在做什么刚才。
Pick me, I'm so bored.
Time to see if all those drills have paid off.
Let us be last to accept the wind's embrace.
Introducing your champion.
Switch our engine and fight.
I'm Jumpmaster, a curse and a gift.
I don't fear anything. Can you say the same?
Let us sit down here. Break legs, my friends. Metaphorically. Bend your knees when you land.
Let's go this way.
The flame draws me this way.
Faster.
Attention. First blood.
First blood, and it's not me. Who said I'm cursed?
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
We are already inside the next ring, my friend.
New kill leader.
Give a shotgun here.
New kill leader. Show off.
Helmet here. Flatline here.
Dibs.
Heavy ammo here.
打架了。
Yo, crafting over here.
Heavy ammo here.
Dibs.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 2.
Eyes up. Crafting.
It's go time.
R301 here.
I need energy ammo.
Backpack here. Level 1.
Rings nearby. 1 minute. Flatline here. Kicks like a mule, but hits even harder.
出外面哦，这里是。哎，不是在这里打吗？哦 ，OK，
45 seconds and the ring closes, my friends.
做本做。
好像有人打掉
Let's check out this area.
打完了。
Mira, enemy black market there. Wonder what they've got for us.
Someone's at that ring closes.
了吗？终于。
我现在 scan 完过这来。
10 seconds.
Just get
Rings
me
just
through.
ahead.
Someone healing in front of me.
我听到 charge rifle，
Someone healing here.
Warning.
I heard charge rifle.
Movement in progress.
I think it's behind me. Wait, no,
Someone
in
in
front.
front.
In front.
In front.
I'm coming nearer to scan.
They're fighting.
Not up here.
Outside or countdown. Either both landslide.
Attention. The kill leader. Attention. Delivery care package.
Yo, we should def check out that care package.
没有，看不到了。
我等下，等下。
Just spotted someone out there.
Rival
有人
spotted.
在那边站着，上面是啊。诶，他们打着
Nova shot.
Nova。我爆一个。你在安乐
Reloading.
我是活，
Faster!
不活不活。没人好自由啊！點解做手啊？我知嘅。
Old Painless knocking at the door.
They open the care
Yo,
package.
took down a
哦，他
car
们
from
拿
above.
Drawing back the hill.
你動啊！
别动。
你係
What do you think is over here?
你高完全部打咩？
他们没有拿那个 package，
打掉，打掉，掉。
没有那个
Half
不是
toast,
package，
half the
那
roast.
个金色的。
有人吗？你四周围看一下有没有人。
没有，
Oh,
我下去。
你 right 打的，
应该是走了去那个潭那
都
个
的，我
塘那里。
我藍色是什麼？來不懂。
They're fighting below the tunnel. In the tunnel.
Yep.
Check out
走
this
走
area.
走走走。
不zap該不
我有
行。
3 scope，3x scope。
No, no, wait. Not towards the tunnel. It's towards
Let's
here.
reposition here.
Is it towards the tunnel? Yeah, it's towards the tunnel.
The overpass。
No, 是 overpass 哦，是
那個 overpass。
有藍色 armor 好，我乜都冇。
Give my shields a recharge.
走走走。
我俾點。我叻。
搞一下呢？
我俾啲。
没有人。去拿点来。
Attention. The kill leader has been eliminated.
Optics here. Close range. Highlights your enemies.
这里来过去。
Optics here. Mid range.
啊。
Heavy ammo here.
Beginning ring countdown.
左邊有人，右邊有人。
没有。没有。
Replicator being delivered.
这里右边。
Yo, replicators coming in for a landing.
左边声音。
左邊。拼咗咯。
What do you think is over here?
scan 一下，stage 有没有人 scan 的？没有。
在這邊。
Enemy spotted.
I think they're inside. They may just come down. Woods.
诶，有人开枪。 那边
呀，
Enemy in here.
那边射着这边，
Let's go this
他们
way.
射着这边，他们射着这一边，射着我那边。
那我
Yo
前面
spotted someone out there.
呀，still fighting，左边那个是下去，过来。
Charging on my
There's a teammate
shields.
I'm covering you guys. I'm covering you guys. Heal.
Champions
Left
out,
side
huh?
shooting, right side.
Bronze
Yep,
ours for
nice.
the taking.
Where did we get scan from? I got scan. 没
Enemy
有
in
中线吗
view？there.
没有，他们走了。这个这边
Rival over there.
Enemy spotted over there.
They're on the bridge.
I think someone on the left scan me.
呀
Oh, behind me! Behind me, another team. I hear someone in the tunnel.
Give me a sec.
Find cover.
Recharging.
他们射这了。
It's go time.
Repeat on last.
I smoked it.
In building, go building, go building.
Give my shields a recharge.
Go inside building. 看着他们。哦，看到人了，在我们附近。
See through this.
中一个，
上面，
我去追着他，我去 flank
不
着他。
要，还有家人那种啊。
我看到一个吧，是吧？走啊，走啊！他在我们下面吧，
对对，
在我们下面吧。
也没了。
I think they're coming up here. On me.
刚刚 detected。
On the right side. There's one guy on the left. There's one guy on the left here.
Position here.
你去
看着，后面看着有没有？我拼那边。
有
下
Saw
这边
someone out
那
there.
个
这里，在我这里下面，在我们这里下面。
Antagonist is
后面有另外一个 team，
close.
后面有另外一个 team。We can keep moving forward， 因为他们后面有另外两个 team 在打的。
中刀哎，
Always 122啊。
哇，开好气哦。
Just scan there. They just scan there.
Yup,
We can.
Close.
Warning.
Let's go over here.
Closing.
No, they are below us.
Ring is moving.
他们打这个，在那边。
Antagonist over there.
上面也是有那边。
The enemy there.
小心啊，你们！我
Enemy
会
spotted.
打到你去。
Way up there, like little
喂，
bullets.
我们过对面那个 overpass flank the guy up top.
Care package being delivered.
Care package touching down. They usually carry rare platforms.
你要来搞我，我还不去外打，
那个人还在前面吗？在我们前面吗？
对吧？
走掉了。
好，就不跑下去了。拼，
这警察不要死啊
Down that one.
有一个倒了，有一个在 pin 里面。
Spotted. Floating.
两个，下面
Loading. Antagonist
在
down.
倒，nice。
有人家叉出来过，右边的叉出来又打死了。我不多知道呢，100。
那边有两队，他们翻着圈，看到吗？
Enemy spotted far.
在这里一个后，
掉。
呦！
I'm recharging my shields.
Charging shields.
The chimney.
Replicating.
My shields are recharged.
Taking it easy. We must go.
Reloading.
下面有人，
他们不要死了。
你们在外面。
Heads up. Dropping the plane.
在我们下面还有一个，
然后有两个，
On Venus.
好，死掉一个。 哇，
在哪里
Charging on my shields.
？Oh shit！
你下去
我
下去。
不是，掉下去，我上回来，上回来。
上来了。
Charging shields.
我们要一
We
分
need
钟
to
进
loot
攻
them because I have nothing.
We need to run in.
No, I need to loot them because I have nothing.
Someone else is over there.
红色 armor，红色
There's another squad.
I'm taking fire.
Off the mic. Spot.
Shields
我们
recharging.
Give me a sec. Recharging shields.
They're fighting another team. I'm gonna walk forward, look here only. Oh fucking ammo, fuck my life.
45 seconds. Ring it.
It's go time.
上
You
面
guys
有
stay
人，
up there, you guys stay up there, you guys stay up there.
哎呀，东西不要掉下去啊！
全部跑回下去，跑回下去，我录了，我会走。
block 分了，两个 block 分了。
抡这子弹，看这里，他们打这也是还在打这，我们可以冲他们了。
Guys, we need to go. 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Either that, we fight them.
Cannot. We have to back off a bit.
Oh, they are.
Go up to the beach. Go up to the beach. There's a beach here on me.
OK 啊，
来吧，有来吧。
120，120。我们
没有来
应该可以
This
stop 到他
direction
们的
goes
这里。
Progress.
Let us go.
桥这里 OK 吗？你觉得？
Delivery care package.
绕整个通哦。
知道我这里也是过到这个啊，他们要过来这里来着。
I'm coming, I'm coming. 3 squads left only. 我捡到有200多粒子弹正好，然后捡买金丝阿莫。没有。Check the boxes in front of us 啊。
哎，他们 running。
Opponent over there.
在圈里面哦。在这边。他们有那个什么，有 hit shield 啊，丢炸弹进去。
Arc star out.
我们进圈。
进去，在圈里面哦。
吓到啊！
喂，
哦。为什么？你会跳的，你会中，你看我都没有中 damage。
Beginning ring countdown.
You slide, jump, 可以这个。
要我跟你讲，跳下来哦。
I saw someone, and I don't think they're selling cookies.
I'm recharging my shields.
有人 scan 到我们，
Dead。
Enemy spotted.
在那
Way
里
out there,
哦
like，
一
little
组小，
cucarachas.
就一组哦。
And that's all of them. Good job, compadre.
有下吗？
Double
哎，有
time.
人哦，
在那里，
We just
Enemy
killed the
灰色的，
They are far.
Okay?
这我已经干掉一组哦。
我知道，在这里，在这里，在我们这里。
Hostile
take off
What lies
这
behind
看到吗？
the
小心，看到你。
My heart goes out
I'm
to
healing.
you.
呀，我
Give me a
有
sec.
靠我。
Recharging shield.
1 minute, my friends. Ring
One
is
guy on me.
Safety's out, folks. Enemies here.
Woohoo, that's gonna be. Charging shields. Come
我
on,
我
come on.
看到我。
靠我这里那边，他来了，
Two guys on me.
Taking
牛
fire.
逼那边。
One crack. 哇，老啊，打到我这里。你们继续打，你们继续打，继续打，我可以 rest， 我可以 self rest。
See through the veil.
Keep them easy. They're on me.
他在中间。没看到。
Sergeant first class, I need a Williams. Redeploying and not dead yet.
哦，完蛋。
Give my shield.
Recharging my shields.
后面，我 cover 你，我 cover 你。第二 down, last guy, he's down, he's down. 我这个是 last guy.
Charging up my shield.
I need shields.
没去了，
差不多的，
Spectre.
差不多是啊。
Lifting the veil.
yeah, both.
Only 2 of us left.
He's trying to.
Wahala.
One guy look.
Taking us to pop the smoke.
Hit the black hole is really.
Enemy down.
哇，
在哪里？
屁股先了，
I recovered our teammate's banner.
今天东西下来就
Enemy spotted.
右边，右边，哇，
Sam mended broken hearts. I said
哇，
I
我没有
ended
输
them.
battery 啊！
我也没有去了。
不然打得
有6个，刚才我们一直打，没有机会给你们，因为我是下去 loot 回来了，
因为
我 loot 当时4点回来的。
里面有我发我。
We have our
我
Apex
刚刚只要有
champions.
个秀，我拼的那个零了。妈的，我刚刚是2个秀。
没有，我那个就是 because I ran down and loot their bodies. Yeah, if not，
没有啊，你可以啊，没有问题啊。
没有，我下去 loot 他们 body， 我拿那个 shield battery， 然后过后我们一直跑嘛，我们有机会给到你们。
哦，
如果我给到你们的话，我觉得我们 OK 了。
我没有去完全。
I got 6， 我有6个 shield battery， 你知道吗？
我有一直问笑，有效吗？
丢
有效吗？
丢了。
消我也是丢了完了，是那是 battery 不？尽量捡单。
我也笑，你是狗阿姆。
我过阿妹过也是잡人家的，
嗯
也是잡那个尸体回来的。 没有去录那个 body， 我就
因为刚刚那个账号应该删掉好了。
是啊，
放了机没有？我是一个的 max 啊，我刚刚已经在上面还不知道是不是 set 掉了一个。
是啊，我没有想到另外一个 team 在我后面。
在里面逃有啊。
哎，没有想到后面在后面另外一个 team， 我看到一个人吧，我以为一个人吧，我在想不对劲，后想哦 shit， 全部都在这边。对了，我拿到的枪不顶。
好
cannot rely on hope. Oh, I go toilet first， 反正在 loading。
I create life. Not death.
我还有B 啊。
Pop the smoke, make them broke.
Come on, what are you waiting for? Let's do this.
是这样吗？看起来我是这样。
This is your champion.
You think you're tough? Try fighting in 6-inch heels.
奴婢是加马特，哈哈。等下我们加改对啊，加改对。
Eeny, meeny, miny. How about there?
哇，不要，奴婢行的加。奴婢。 No fuck， 他是加马特，我们要出了。我们是一个改着，不然就老瓦塞分，不然我们就去火烂了。
不会火辣的吗？他会跳的吗？也是。
Hold on tight.
走，先去塞分不了。
Check out here.
他去到 N 会 automatic 跳的吗？
这边
I saw
关，
someone, and I told
这边
them
有
it's
在
gonna be
关。
bogeys.
OK。 他们要改掉那个啊，真的是很 very what 嘞 ，very misleading 啊，他们真的是。我以为是你就叫 master 的 ，after that 不是。
那边写是我加马特，你懂吗？
我看到是你对。
对，那边写加马特。
report 啦，
写哎，
是我
写这是我是叫 master 还是你？
我。
他。
哦，我就觉得奇怪。
是我就uninstall 了。
Handlock here. One flatline here.
Attention.
I could put that to use. Watch for the new kill leader.
301。
Champion eliminated.
Champion out.
咩？301拿了啊？是吧？
我用这，我用这， sorry。
I need a backpack.
我是去 craft 那边 backpack。哦，这边没有我。What the fuck？ 这边没有我。
Better find me before I find
我
you.
刚刚遇到了他。
你来这里。
OK。
Light ammo here.
这不是有中间的地方？
是有中间16个箱子。
Extended light mag here. Level 3.
多。
I can use that.
金圣啊。这我可能会用，我有去写文稿啊。
Backpack here. Level 2.
慢了。
都快哦，看谁快拿哦。
诶，那个中间在哪里呢？我迷路了。
在我这边哦。
有去写文稿完了。
没有看到，完全没有看到。拿完了，这里没东西拿了。现在我们进去了。
1 minute, my friends. Ring is close.
Attention.
Nope.
It's go time.
看错了，看错了。
就是去这 launch site 哦。
Shotgun bolt here. Level 2.
I need it.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2. I need a standard stone.
I need I need
I need，然后就不掉了，过后就没有掉了。
extended。
没有 battery， 什么都没有。有一个 Phoenix， 我有2个。
外面我有了，我要
有人打架，
在里面啊，
This
被
way.
拉到
去打，
在拉到
在这里。我们去打 ，Let's be。
OK， 再来个 Q。
We're already in the ring.
I need extended。
I need an extended heavy mag.
Close range. Always better than iron sights.
喂，没有。有人在这边，
Enemy over there.
跑着进去中间那边，在这边。
Let's go this
跑
way.
进那边。On the left side, someone fighting also. I'm moving forward. 只有你先一下跟我们讲，
Delivering care package.
跟我们讲大概他在哪里，什么方向。
Care package incoming. Y'all earned
前面
this.
你这只
Just
手
watch your backs.
334。走的，
有，他在
Close door here.
他在这边。
Hostile over there.
我看到他，他很远。跑着去右边进去。
Check out this area.
有人跳下去啊！One squad，
Mira,
一
someone's out
个
there.
跑
They're
车，
far.
有人飞下来是有的。没有这样看。
我们可以打这。
Enemy spotted. Way out there, like little cucarachas.
要不要来打这？
我 drop 你那边。
Faster.
有一个 fuse 啊 ，fuse 奥迪啊。
在里面，哈佛社里面打的这一个，一个 team 2个 team。
怎样？你左边右边。
我是担心这边里面有人出来过，看着有人走进去。
我们应该去那边打，然后
The flame draws me this way.
这样子是，
Just
看到吗？
someone out there.
2个人，
桥去。
go。
然后我们要打，
不知道下面打还是桥。
太远了，我们可以去调。We can go straight up and kill them 啦，if they're already fighting.
要 fighting 来，fighting 会。
又有张牌。
我去打个吧。
Faster.
不要打呀！
去。
妈的！
那我这边有人。
Now to the heart of the matter.
Heal up, last bit.
We've got company.
接下
Don't
来
let my
知
shield.
道吧？
用了，
Give me a sec.
他在我
Recharging shield.
351，外面，building 外面，他在外面打这应该，是吧？
没有搞去
Charging
呗
up。my shields.
他们有说
I'm hit.
Threat unveiled.
中2个，一个底上，那这边外面，
Double timing it.
It's gone.
Give my shield a read.
哦，他们2个都奥迪啊！
我们可以这里上。
后面了，有人刚才关门。
2 second to scan，
哦，
他们在我们这地方啊。
Your veil taking damage. Shields are recharging.
他们都这边。
这边，
Fire. Must go faster.
Cover me.
跟我听
Hands
说，
up. We're not alone.
Watch the mic. I'm spotted. We're inside the ring. One less thing to worry about. Reloading.
What are you doing, bro?
You'll be alright. I gotcha.
他直接冲过来我这边打我，what the fuck？他没有秀，我也没有秀，冲过来打了，对面没有秀，
You'll be alright. I got
他
you.
很奇怪，我看到他这样子，我没有秀，你没有秀，我有秀，那你这样子冲我，有没有什么一点哦？
我换输了。 I'm switching over to energy。啊
OK
我 flatline 这边有金色的，
Extended heavy mag here. Level 4.
这边有黑币，看到。I need heals, man. Fuck it.
More heavy on me. I need shields。
Taking it back to here.
没有另外一把枪都有。
Oh man， 你们有没有 cells or batteries 啊？
没有。
掉手里。
叫我身上。
给我3粒。你有没有 cells battery？
没有，给我。
OK， 你给小米你给他，我不用。
Heavy ammo here. Shield cell here.
Show off.
哦，这边有人，这边有尸体，这边有，这边有刀鞘，这边有刀鞘。我丢到剩5个。
It's go time.
More here.
One more minute, amigo. Rings right there. So close. So close.
Bullet shot. Bullet shots. Gunfire.
Let's reposition here.
Opposite this place. I think they are inside the lava place that we can move.
Taking it
Yes,
back to
I want.
here.
Do we go through the other side or we go through here?
有后面有人揍我们。
后面了，后面。
Spotted.
One fight here. Yeah, on the.
Run. Run.
Run. 就跳掉。
啊，走，我掉地，zone 他们。We take time to kill the guys in front of us. Go all right. Right in front of me.
Hey, we got bad guys over there. We're not alone.
Kill them.
Reloading.
Good work. We're inside the next ring.
在这边。
Let's displace.
Look beyond the veil. Listen to my
Kill confirmed.
I know.
跟这边。
Amigos, let's go here.
天了。
I think it's in the building. This one.
Keep an eye on this place.
Second squad is enemy in view there.
Take fire.
Shit. 这边。到了。Kill him.
Reloading.
他后面有一个人，只是杀掉全部拉后面了。OK， 后面这个人，我必须 heal。
我右边了。
Last guy.
好，我
Run. Fuse is coming. Fuse is coming.
兄弟，那我的。
啊呀，just run. No. 跑。OK， 你跑，继续跑。一直跑。
Ah, this is taking too long. Can't believe I'm standing. We're already.
用我有。
哦，
They're fighting. What the? Oh my fucking god! You just shot me through the smoke. 在这边。Hello. 那个人用作 alternator。
Hooligan on top of us.
哎，我看这边是不是 alternator？
哇啦！
哎，那不算。我觉得刚才那个是 alternator。
他用3
没有
把枪来打。
我给他号招。
这个后面都是料了。跑进去哦，一定。
One more, 2 more game, then I enough. Go， 快点！
哦，走。我还在看这个。
啊，我直接给那个 Bloodhound 这样子 melt 掉我的血。
没有，刚刚你起来了是不是？你 你挨着 Hill 先，不然你走里面，不要走出去，他们看到你。
没有，我直接先 smoke，完了我才跑了。
我懂，可是他们还是就是懂你 smoke 那边，是不是他们就不了了
I smoke to the side already. I cannot heal there. What? They are charging us already. I wanted to go inside the building, but maybe I smoke around like right on top of myself.
你不要跑去外面 open 的地方啊！你 building 就在后面，对不对？你应该跑你刚刚的左手边。
刚刚的左手边还是右手边？
你往后跑的话就是右手边了。
Today's a good day to cheat.
Because I thought，因为刚才 Stormy 是那边死吧，like as in slightly further out 啊。I thought there'd be a guy shooting from there rather than the other side. 我忘记换 skin。啊，那个是 ，it's like either because 因为 Stormy 是在我们我 down 的时候 ，if we look out。Stormy on to our left 嘛，对不对 ？I would expect them to rush to the left. That's why I smoke and I run backwards because I thought I got enough whatever rather than go left side. Oh well. What to do?
Guys,
I say we land here.
You can go guys.
我去捞啊！
直接给人家这样子没有。
捞啊！塞分哦。
Bye.
My home is dying.
我自己 launch 了 ，bye。
Private eye.
这个只 launch，
What do you think is over here?
这里 launch solo，bye。
Might be something good this time.
今天跳这边啊，多小。
L-Star Peacekeeper, I'm ready.
Got our first worm food,
有
compadres.
rampage 在我身上，如果没有，
Mira, sentinel over here.
G7 scout here.
Ooh, that's gonna keep.
Oh,
Flatline here. Gets harder than the 301, but harder to control.
Hit it. Gotta hop up here.
Flatline here.
Dibs.
Optics here. Mid-range.
Want it?
Gracias.
Must go faster.
轮 tip 咗，
OK。
根本你们有中意。好多人都去反攻啊，真的。有没有真的 energy 啊？ Ada tak extended energy? Tak ada.
你这边只有一个 crafting material 吧？哦，
Faster, faster,
有两
faster.
个，我拼了2个 flatline， 如果你要的话，在这个 building 里面，在这个 building 里面，
我要拿，我要拿到，
Let's go this way.
弄完。
在这一个 building 里面，懂没
Rings nearby.
？All the way
We're
的。
close.
另外一个在最后面那边。
哦，这么我在走那边的嘛也是。
Cover me. Classic.
我们去 fragment 的话又是不同的。
都打架还是人？
Rings
看
next
这种都
door.
是打我，
45.
Yo, crafting over here.
你用这什么的呢？
他说在 fan lock。
跟你换去 flatline 比较好看。去哪？还有时间。
Rings around the corner, and we've got 30
我
seconds.
打过来。
We are fucking shit loot, bros. No armor at all. 人家已经 revive 了，在我们对面，在该是对面。懂意思吗？ they're coming from the whatever.
Must go faster.
看戏份了。
Prowler SMG here.
在我们前面有一个人，Fight armor。
Contact.
我讲一定会有人进来哦。在外面门口外面，直接去，有滚来。
其实如果我上场去那边，去跟
哎，快点来，兄弟，有人。
我来这来这，
Just go on, kill him.
Taking fire.
Blue armor.
Spotted.
They're shooting
哇
at me.
，100。fuck fuck
Oh,
fuck。
bad dudes over there.
Give my shield a recharge. Just us now. Gotta watch each other's back. Giving him the chimney. Oh, they got me. I'm down.
Half the squads remain.
我都讲一定会有人进来了。你刚才转身把我打死啊，就没有了。
Level 3.
我跟你出去的时候，我以为只有还一个人。
没有，我是讲 like instantly the guy in front of me already. He was inside the tunnel just now.
哦，真的，我要我怎样人家会跑？你给我讲到我去看了，我要 OK。Let's try.
Don't need to loot just now. Just try and kill him.
Take the armor. 蓝色的，不拿。不要太大。哇，这打那可以找好，找好。
We got this round squared away.
给我一个人在这边，哦，在这边。
I haven't found my limit.
Make it so they cannot help. Then they are yours.
Okay, last one.
So early, tomorrow holiday.
This is your champion.
No, go StarCraft 2.
Ah, StarCraft 2.
我不知道玩 game， 很久没玩
I'm
game。
Job Master.
不知道玩 game。
Wherever you land, we will make it beautiful.
Let's touch down here.
Let's touch
我
down.
不想玩了，他讲以后叫我玩，我不随便。
Break legs, my
Not a big fan of
That's
StarCraft.
authority. Bend your knees when you land.
We are dropping the 2 teams in front, then I'm going there.
Go this way.
2 teams behind us, see that?
Close door over there.
This direction closed.
What do you think is over here?
Right, every left.
Grenade out.
原来
给你来一个，给你来一个。
女枪，啊女枪。
20吧。
哦。
啊，对，
Look,
对，
we're someone wandered into our safe
go 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 go。
Others have been there. Men have
我有
an
2把枪，我有2把枪。
First fatality. Let the games begin.
哎呦，
Take the Eva.
Don't need to worry about short stroking
Bullets
a
behind
pump.
you.
None of us are in the ring.
Must go faster.
I see an opponent here.
特把地。
Engaging.
Drop movie.
Charging on my shields.
有人去吧？
你要 Q。
Give my shields a recharge.
哎，东面你身上有 energy， 哇，丢点丢。
他进来了，要什么？丢什么？
energy。
没有。
Bad guys, let's do this.
What lies behind here?
Energy ammo here.
后面，快点，他这打。
Taking fire.
Crack。2个都 crack 了。
Fire
，6小时哦，6小时哦，在这边，在这边，在这边。
Taking fire.
对，怎么都 continue， 就做完了。Revive squad 哎，那个